How did HTBB begin? Oh, wow. It was God pulled together a number of strands, really. First of all, here in KL, a young woman ran Alpha in her home and a few times for friends, and this connect group really began on a Tuesday night, and they began to pray, Lord, why have you brought us together? What is this for?
Yeah, and at the same time, Alpha was being run out of London, out of the offices next to HTB in London, and when they were kind of looking at the numbers, they realised that Alpha was growing in Asia. It was really, really growing in Asia, and so they started to ask the question, how can we run Asia out of London? It doesn't make sense. We need to run Asia out of Asia. Who will go and do that for us?
And a lot of people in London didn't realise that we had a call on our life to serve the Lord in Asia, and we've been praying and waiting and sensed the Spirit sort of nudge us and say, this is it.
Yeah, this is the time. And it also turned out that at the same time, the Bishop of West Malaysia had this great vision to church plant, and so all of these strands came together. And that was the beginning, really. Yeah,
that birthed HTBB and what has become the hub in KL.
Yeah. So the hub is made up of a number of entities. Obviously we have the church, HTBB, and our heart is for the local church and to run everything out of the local church.
It's a family. HTBB is a family. It's a home. And in this home, there is life constantly in the Spirit, new life, people coming to faith, people being born again, lives transformed. And in this organic, growing family full of life, there's sort of two children as well. One is the Alpha team, who amazing group of people that serve churches right across the region. In fact, we're now serving over 4,000 churches across 26 countries across Asia Pacific, so that they can also run Alpha and see their communities transformed by Jesus. And then the other big child, as it were, is SPTC, St. Paul's Theological College, which is amazing now that we've got fully accredited as a college where people can study, grow in their theological understanding, and be trained and equipped as the next generation of pastors and church planters. And all of this sort of life together is the hub. It's a family, but the church, HTBB, is the home for all of it. Yeah.
And we actually started in somebody's home. And then we started kind of maybe a month later. We'd obviously got the building on the top of lot 10. We'd got the smaller hall, which had been converted from a theatre. And I just remember everyone was so excited about that first Sunday, because that was what we'd come to do. We'd come to start a church. And everybody had invited all their friends. So I think for that first Sunday, we felt like we knew we'd have a few people there.
Loads of people came. I thought revival had broken out. And then the next Sunday came around and virtually no one was there. And then we thought, okay, this is where the real work begins.
Yeah.
But then a week and a half later, we started Alpha. We've just run it ever since. And the life has just poured in by the Spirit, and amazing things have happened.
Yeah.
The passage for that first service was in Luke's Gospel, when Jesus calls the disciples with the miraculous catch of fish. And I think that has been so profound as a word over our church. You know, first of all, the disciples had caught nothing. It wasn't anything to do with their skill or on their strength that this amazing catch of fish was brought in. It was Jesus, and it's all that Jesus is doing. And I think we're called as a community to catch fish, go and be fishers of men and women for Jesus, and to see people pulled out of a sea of hopelessness into life in Christ. It's the work of Jesus, it's his miracle that we're a part of, you're a part of. And thank you for all that you're doing. This is an extraordinary moment in history for the church, and you're right at the epicenter of it. The biggest privilege of all is to serve Jesus and to transform the world with our friends and family. We can do this. It's only just begun. The best is yet to come. Let's do it together.